So I just want to talk about farming channel YouTubers, farming channels. They don't show the ins and the outs of everyday things. So I might as well start at the beginning. So this morning, I really wasn't going to do too much today. We are going to, I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. I wasn't going to do much today, and I told the guys, hey, not doing much today. Today I'm going to be painting this thing that Cody built, and I really don't need anybody. Cody said that he wasn't coming anyway, and I figured if the wind wasn't blowing, I'd cut some logs for lumber. So here is what the project is for today that I was going to do, but got interrupted with by other projects. So this is the finished product of the hay spike. Less painting. So what I did was to make it stronger and better. I had Cody cut diamonds for these. I guess Grant cut them. I'm pretty sure he did. The horns on the top, we capped them so that nothing can get in there. I probably should drill a little hole in the bottom of them because they're going to freeze up anyway, because condensation finds its way into everything. The bottom tube is now a 4x4 1/2-inch square hollow tubing instead of a 3x3 5/16. This is 1/4 inch instead of 5/16. These are the same. No, these are 3/16 uprights. We did that because there's plenty of strength in everything that we did there. The most is going to be right here and on the bottom, which we reinforced with diamonds on the front and the back. So that's all good, plus the side braces and stuff. This will probably outlast the 6210R. The other one that we built for the 6210R is coming off, and it will be going on to the 7410, which I did complete the fenders last night, but the battery went dead, and quite honestly, that looks a lot better. I know everybody was complaining about these fenders, but they look pretty good. About the same genre tractor. Actually, it came off a little older tractor, and what I didn't realize, and you didn't see me weld it, but you can't see, I actually brazed that piece of steel in there. You can see where I used brass, and I did paint it so that I don't have rusting problems. But on the very top, there must have been a silage tractor or something, or mud or whatever laid along the edge, and I actually rotted this fender out, and there is a couple of small air holes through there. I call them air holes. So while I was doing that, we decided we would get all the lights to work, right? All the lights, the back lights. And of course, we did. We got them in. These were traditionally rotted out, or rotted through. The screws were fast, so we've glued that in. And right now, the back lights for the back lights, the Tillett work lights in the back, they were bad. So Timothy's on his way to get new lights for those. And for these front ones, they're all broke out and bad. So when that was happening, Dad comes in, he says, hey, I had a problem and it needs to be fixed. I was like, oh, okay, no big deal. I'll get right on that as soon as I get done with what I'm doing right now. And he's like, well, okay, I'm going home. It is windy and nasty, so you're about to lose sound, but at least I'm going to show you what happened. He was pulling a bale of hay and he brought it off the back, and the pile behind this, the stack that he was grabbing, fell back over the top of this and came down and caused some damage there, which I'm just going to set you up with my magnetic. I'm going to jump down here, and I'm going to get the piece that he broke off. It broke. I could probably buy a new one. $5 says I drop this before I get done. Yes. So what I had to do, because he bent this guy a little bit. No biggie deal. Not big enough of a deal, but so I have to get my wires back where they belong, right? The hoses back where they belong, because they're shot. So I brought some wire ties, and because that sucker broke the plastic on there because it's cold, broke that. So what I'm going to do is it's so cold it broke that. Fuck. Brand new ones too. Shit. So for a slightly overweight, I guess slightly overweight, I wouldn't say I'm overweight, but slightly overweight, not bad. I didn't do too bad. I can jump around here yet. So Dad's been having a little little bit of trouble here as of lately with this. He's getting into some troubles that I wasn't really expecting him to be getting into, but you know, it is what it is, right? So what I will do is I'm gonna have to go get another one of these because I think they're all just, I think it's just brittle. You know, brittle. Everything's brittle anymore. And that's annoying. So here, this is what I'm gonna do. Just like that. See that? Now, that holds it in place, right? I was wondering what's going to hold that. I'll be back. Hold on. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make this so that I don't have the problems that I think I'm going to have. All right. So my problem is I'm thinking that these wire ties may or may not be strong enough to do the job that I want them to do. So I'm doubling them up, but that doesn't stop them from slipping off of the ends over there, right? So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm going to do this because I can. And what that'll do is keep those two wire ties from coming off. You believe that? These motherfuckers are that junk. You'd think they'd be better than that. Damn it. So, I got a smaller one that seems to be more pliable than that big fat one that I have. If you pull them too tight, apparently, it's cold enough that it'll cause an issue. So, now what that has done, it will keep these two from falling off. Well, there you go. Anyway, had somebody ask me what kind of knife I use on a daily basis. Well, when I was a kid, there was a television show, and I'm sure a lot of younger people don't know this, but television show's name was MacGyver, and he carried a Swiss Army knife, an actual, honest-to-God Swiss Army knife, and that is exactly what that is. Now, today's society, young men have been told that knives are bad. Knives and guns are bad, so young men don't carry around knives and guns. I carry a knife everywhere I go. Again, used for many things, including self-defense. So now I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to go do the job that I'm going to do this job. See? Cat filter. All right, so everybody was so kind and tell me that I put the wrong filter on. You are right. I did put the wrong filter on. There's a reason for that. I bought those filters as a set, a primary and a secondary. And I never even gave it much thought because one was a Fleet. If the other one that what he had given me was this right here, I wouldn't have had that problem because it's not a Fleet filter. This is a Cat filter, in which I had to go get from the, well, I had it in the wrong truck. So it came out of the Peterbilt, or the Western Star that I used to have, and I had it in the Mac because I just took the stuff out of the Western Star and put it into the Mac. So I still had that filter. There's nothing wrong with it. It's been rolling around in a bag for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So that's that. Can't get the other filter off, but I'm not going to use a screwdriver. I do have one of these because I don't have a filter wrench for this. I did have a really nice filter wrench that was given to me by a guy by the name of Jeremy Lee when I went and sold him the Oliver 1755. You may remember that tractor, you may not. It was one I twisted the axle off. And he wanted it after I had repaired it because I thought it was a piece of shit, and he took it out there, and the guy that actually paid for it said it's a piece of shit, and I do believe it is in a scrapyard someplace. Not without a mention from Machinery Pete before it went. Believe it or not, that's how crazy it is. So anyway, I'm gonna go change this out. Now I'm gonna tell you about unfiltered fuel in a minute and why you people are anal retentive jackasses. So yeah, damn it, where's my jug? I'll have to find a jug, damn it. Ah! All right, so I'm kind of hoping y'all can see this. This is not really the worst thing in the world, but I had a really nice Blue Point one, and I got a feeling I know who took it. I know who took it because I believe I put it in that truck, but we won't talk about that because it just isn't worth our time. All right, so I have now probably just damaged this filter and I'm gonna throw it away. Anyway, oh God. Yes, I'm throwing it away. All right. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I hope you can see me here. I'm going to piss off more people. Look what I got. It's a jug. And look, I'm pouring it in. And if you didn't know, Caterpillar filters on this fuel filter have a plugged outlet. Okay? So that filter that I'm filling right now cannot have unfiltered fuel put into it. Just so you know. It filters from the outside of the filter and it goes up through the center to the inside of the filter. Just so you know. That's, oh, and it is windy, so I'm gonna have a problem here. So I can't express this enough. This is filtered fuel, guys. It came out of my filtered fuel tank, which is a 5 micron. Okay, a 5 micron fuel filter. And so it can't be any more filtered than what I've got here. All right, so if you don't believe me, I'm sorry about that. But I'm not sorry, because honestly, I don't give a flying fuck. I've been doing this for years. And when I say years, I mean years. Years and years and years. I got more of a chance. Oh, God. Oh, shit. You know what I forgot to do? You know what I forgot to do? Oh, first place. Let me bring you along, you know, because I don't want anybody to miss this action. I almost forgot to take that stupid O-ring that I put on there. Oh. As a matter of fact, I did. And now I've got a filter that's dangling there, okay? How much you want to bet I get cut doing this? There it is. There it is. That sucker is one sharp ass knife. My wife got me that to replace the one that I had for so many years. And I decided it was worn out. Right? Okay. So now everybody can rest assured this is a clean filter with clean fuel going on my little old kitty cat here, the C15, C-15. There's a difference. And then you have the C15A certs. Somebody told me I needed to open up this fuel bleed, which I do. I mean, I'll open it. Why not? Lewis doesn't use any tools. Lewis is not a mechanic. Lewis is a driver. There's a difference between a driver and a mechanic. Huh. So, let's see if I can do this without screwing you guys up. Oh yeah. Fuel bleed. Here we go. That's it. There's supposed to be an O-ring in there. There it is. Wow. No, I don't see the O-ring. Alright, I didn't see any fuel come out, but whatever. I don't know. I think it's just a spring behind there. Yeah. That's all. I just need to tighten this sucker up. There's writing on that thing, believe it or not. Filter bleed. Well, we're not too worried about it. Fuel flow goes in. How much you want to bet that you don't start as good as it did the other day? But I'm going to take you all along for the ride. Now this video is gonna get long. Oh, and ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Well, that was disappointing. I thought I'd have to crank it and wank it a little bit longer. Alright, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions while I allow this thing to pump up with air, because I just want it to pump up with air. What kind of fuel additive do I use? Well, I'm going to tell you. I don't use any. This fuel is brought to me on the farm pre-conditioned. They start conditioning at the end of November, and they stop conditioning at the beginning of April, like April 1, no more conditioner. So that is the extent of the conditioner. I don't generally have problems with fuel, ever. These fuel filters were never changed in my care. I haven't changed these filters until just now. You know, so, oh yeah. Yeah, she's not so snappy yet. I think there's air in the line. It's going to take a little bit to get it out. Yep, there's definitely air in that line. Definitely air in the line. I can hear it. It'll work its way out. Anyway, yeah, so that's the story. Those filters were on here for God knows how long. They could be on there for 100,000 miles for all I know. But I do know now that they're fresh, and I'll be fine until probably next fall. There's nothing wrong with the fuel that I have, and the fuel that I bring, like I said, is conditioned. So I hope you enjoyed this, and now no more complaining. No more. No, done. All done. Okay, so just to finish this video up, Peekaboo! What are you doing over there? Well, just to finish this video up, I'd like to say that I never did get to paint the spikes. I just didn't, the bale spear. I just didn't have time. Every time you turn around on the farm, there's something else happening. Even in the winter time, it's like things are cold, things get broken, there's always something going on. So for those of you that think that every day a farmer goes out to his tractor, turns the key, and goes to work, and everything, you know, works out perfectly, you're delusional. There is always something, whether it's a low tire, a flat tire, a broken spike on a bale spear, a broken anything. You know, I've even walked by a tractor and seen a piece of steel that was working its way into it. And every time something like that happens, you have to stop what you're doing, go over to get it rectified before there's an issue. You don't want issues. So that's just the way farming is and the way that it goes. And it just decided at 8:21 to turn to daylight for some reason. I have no idea why. But anyway, everybody's this way. Every single farm in the United States and the world is this way. Sometimes you can just park something and go back to it, and then it doesn't function the way you thought it should when you left it there. Like the red pickup truck, my red F-250. My red F-250, I used it I was the last one to use it. Parked it, now the power steering pump doesn't work. Go figure that one. Weird, just the weirdest things, and that has to be worked on. You can order parts and they say it's going to be in a week. Well, it isn't in a week. Then you got to find something else to do, which isn't hard, but when you have it in your mind that this is what we're doing today and it doesn't happen, that's what you end up with. So that's it. Long and short, every day is an adventure. And why is he blue? He looks like a Smurf. Does he not look like a Smurf over my right shoulder? Hey, Smurf boy. Yeah.